that's a scruple I have, is not reading a book cover to cover. I feel like I need to. I feel like I can't just dip in and read an interesting chapter. Like, could I? Like, am I interested in a chapter called Making Men Circumspect? Not really, honestly. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lula, and today I'm going to be talking you through my chess book collection. Before we get started, you may have said to yourself, hey, is that a new filming location? Yes, perceptive viewer, you would be correct in thinking that I have not filmed here before. This is in fact a new background. I could give you a tour of all of the stuffed animals behind me. That we can save for another video. Today we're talking chess books. Although the other video would be exponentially more interesting to most people, I assume you're here because you clicked for the chess. So that's what we're gonna do. If you've been following me for an absurd amount of time, you may remember this video. Hi guys, I have a book haul for you today. I have tons of books. This is less than half of them. Basically, this is not going to be my chess book collection. It's just going to be a haul of books that I got recently, which is a video where I talked about the chess books that I had copped at a chess tournament for free. And I did a chess book haul and I showed you all some retro chess books, which is cool. I don't have most of those with me because I didn't bring them when I moved country. And so this is actually going to be an incomplete chess book collection, but if you're interested in those books, you can go and watch that video if that helps, because today I'm going to be talking about other books. I do have to put a disclaimer that I am only making this video to quell the rumors that I don't know how to read, and I hope also you can tell from how many books I have behind me. I'm receiving a call. Great.
About car without driving license. That's the reason of my call. I did with a mistake. Have a good day. Bye.
I don't know what I was talking about, but I just got a call from someone trying to sell me a car without driving license. I don't know what that means, by the way. But it totally threw me off. Anyway, what I think I was trying to say is I definitely can read. And although I can read, that does not necessarily mean I've read every chess book that I'm about to show you. Just because it's a chess book collection doesn't mean I've read them all. So just being honest with you there. I have a big pile of chess books over here. I actually have two piles. I'm going to start at the top in no specific order. We have Mayhem in the Morra by Marc Esserman. Marc Esserman, I think, is the only chess streamer who is more unserious than me. And I mean that in the most complimentary way. He's also infinitely better at chess than I am because he's an international master, but like, let's not dwell on that. I actually have gone through some of the variations in this book. The reason that I enjoy this book is because this is the kind of chess player I aspire to be, as in I aspire to butcher people on the chessboard with gambits and with aggressive, active play. That is the kind of person I want to be. Unfortunately, that is not necessarily the person that I am at this moment or have ever been, but that is the person I want to be. And that's why I have this book, and that's why I have gone through some of the variations in this book. I think this is less a specific, like, chessable course guide for like concrete variations, more giving you ideas at a lot of points. There are some more there are some sharper lines in here where you can lose very quickly, or like things that black can do against the Smith-Morra, which are very bad or very tricky. I haven't seen any other guide to the Smith-Morra. I don't think you would need another guide to the Smith-Morra. This is generally regarded to be like the guide on the Smith-Morra. So if you're interested in that, this is the one. Okay, next I have quite a few books from Carsten Hansen, which he sent me a couple of years ago. I'm gonna kind of put them all together, all of his books full of puzzles, and you just solve the puzzles and then it gives you an explanation. Most of them are the same. Obviously, they're not all tactics, like some of them have more explanations. This one's about endgame planning. I have not spent a significant amount of time looking through these. It is failing on my own part. And I fully acknowledge my deficiency there. I have used these books. I use them sometimes to find select puzzles for videos, or I use them when I just think I used some of them when I was preparing lessons, back when I was giving lessons as a chess coach. I don't do that anymore. so I don't reach for these very often. I have mainly looked, I have to admit, at chess tactics for improvers. I think I have other chess tactics books from him, but like this one is the one that I've looked in more than the others. In general, I am not like looking a lot at openings books. I do have the Ruy Lopez here. I do play the Ruy Lopez. Very theory heavy opening, but I play the D3 line, so the main line books aren't super helpful for me because I'm playing D3. But yeah, these are very like content heavy, not so frilly. So depends, everybody's different. Next up, we have the Steps books. These are very well known in the improver community. I've talked about these in like 5 other videos. I have steps 3 to 6, and I have some of the offshoots like 4 extra. I have 4 plus. I have thinking ahead, which is like blindfold stuff. These are really good. They are my most used chess books, I would say. And I really enjoy the fact that it tells you what the theme is for each of the puzzles. So for example, let's open step 4. So yeah, here we go. This is mating patterns. Here we have attacking the castled king. And it's basically just puzzles, nothing else. You also always have it from white's perspective, and you have a little black dot when you know that you have to play black to win. And what I enjoy about puzzle books specifically is that you have to solve all the way to the end before you get the solution. Like you can't just put in the first move and see what they play. You have to calculate everything. So that's different between this and doing puzzles online. And I think that that's why doing puzzles in books is superior. I've said that multiple times. I won't dwell on it. I love the fact that they never even translated step 6, because like who reaches step 6? They never translated it into English or any other language, because like who's reaching step 6? They are realists over in the Netherlands. The steps authors, I don't know who they are, Rob Brunier and Cor van Wijurden. That's definitely how that's pronounced. They are realists. They know that I'm not reaching step 6. What I will say is that some, like, not all the puzzles are the same difficulty. Like, you'll be doing a puzzle and it's like mate in 2, so easy. Next puzzle, you will have to calculate like 20 moves in a king and pawn ending. I don't always understand that, but like, I get it. Okay, they're making me do something I would otherwise avoid. Like if I opened up a page and it was just like really long calculations, they know I'm skipping that page. But if they lure me in with a mate in 2 and they have me, and then all of a sudden I'm starting to calculate the next puzzle and then I realize it's difficult, I'm invested. I have to finish. Okay, like it's smart. I think the steps books are really good. And I think that generally they're considered to be like one of the main ways to improve these days. So I rate them pretty highly. Next, we have Invisible Chess Moves. I bought this myself when I was still under the delusion that I would read chess books. So probably 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I have hardly looked in it. I think I have bigger issues. I actually think this could be really helpful for me, like first chapter, quiet moves, intermediate moves, desperado, alignment. Like this would be helpful to me, but I have probably bigger issues before I get onto this book. I think that this book is something that I actually do need and something that probably would very much help me, but I have not had the time or experience like looking at it that I could tell you anything much about it. I saw that it came like very highly recommended, which is why I bought it in the first place on chess Twitter. Like I was like heavily into chess Twitter for a while. Hive of scum and villainy now, thank you Elon Musk, but for a while it was, you know, quite useful for getting recommendations. Maybe in the comments you can let me know if you have read this book or if you think this book is good or if I should skip. That would help. The Art of Checkmate, this is a very beginner friendly book. I have looked through it and I haven't really solved that many of the puzzles in here because, to be quite frank, I have done everything in this book online. Like it tells you all of the mating patterns, Greco's mate, corridor mate, epaulette mate, smothered mate, Anastasia's mate. I know all of these checkmating patterns. This is helpful to me in the sense that I can do the training of like muscle memory and relearning the patterns that I already know. I think this would be extremely helpful if you are new to chess. I think that there are very few books that I would recommend to people who are new to chess, because I think that in general you don't need chess books. But like a step book or The Art of Checkmate, I think that these are really helpful. And I think that honestly, it probably would help me to go through this like almost before every tournament, because like how often am I going to find Greco's mate? Am I going to miss it? Am I going to see it? Maybe I should do this right now. Maybe I should stop filming the video and go through this right now. Chess for Tigers. I talked about this a little bit on Instagram, and I enjoy this book. It's fun. I don't think that the engine analysis is up to date is one thing, but it has fun illustrations in it. It's about chess psychology. It's about how playing the best move is not always the best move, and sometimes you need to play your opponent, which I find very helpful because I psychologically very like anxious, especially as a chess player. I'm a very anxious chess player, and so this is helpful to me. I think it's quite interesting. Like there's one point in the book where he says that you should like make a table of your strengths and weaknesses, and like make a table of your results for each opening as black and white, and like win, loss, draw rate for all of your tournament games. Which, am I gonna do that? Probably not, but like there are some good ideas in here, and I actually have read most of it. So next up, I want to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Jeremy Silman. I've talked about him before. This is the How to Reassess Your Chess workbook. I actually don't have the standalone book here with me. It's in Jersey. But I do have the Amateur's Mind, so let's talk about kind of all of his books at the same time. Amateur's Mind comes first if you are slightly weaker, and then How to Reassess Your Chess comes after for 1400 FIDE plus, but I think Amateur's Mind can still be helpful above that level. I just really like his writing style. I find it very readable and not dry and not boring. And as you can see, this is a recurring theme. Like I need like a little dancing monkey in front of me for my brain to stay focused on what is happening. And so if people are writing in a nice writing style, that is going to help me to stay focused. And I also think that in general, Jeremy Silman is quite realistic in what he says about your average club player and like the advice that he gives. Whereas a lot of other books that I see that I'm not going to show you today because I have not bought them for reasons, they kind of always just address you as though you are a grandmaster or an aspiring grandmaster. And like, okay, we're all aspiring grandmasters, but I need you to talk to me not like I understand everything. Because in chess, let's be honest, we're all just pretending that we understand a lot of things, and really none of us understand anything. So I need chess authors to be realistic in the way that they portray things and to be helpful. And I find Jeremy Silman is incredibly effective at doing that. He was also just an icon. So would recommend Jeremy Silman's books quite strongly. I realize I'm just like creating a huge pile here, which might be distracting on the side of the video. So I'm going to put this on the floor. Okay, so when I got my chess books, I just went to my shelf of chess books, so it has things that are not necessarily chess improvement books there. I would argue that Intermezzo is a chess book. It's a book about a chess player. If you're interested in books that are about chess that are not about improvement, I have quite a few of them. I also have The Birth of the Chess Queen. And I'm also going to show you Jennifer Shahade's new book. So don't tune out. But this is a novel written by Sally Rooney, who is an Irish author. Usually she writes literary fiction books. This is no different. And this is about two brothers, one of whom is a chess player. And I really enjoyed it, honestly. I think if you haven't read any other Sally Rooney books, you will enjoy it more, because when you read more than one Sally Rooney book, you realize that every single Sally Rooney book is the same book. Not like to be rude, I've read about 4 of them and I've enjoyed them, but they are all the same book. This one is slightly different because there's a chess player in it. Would recommend. He's quite relatable in it, and I feel like the chess is pretty well portrayed. So I enjoyed this novel. It's quite rare to see chess portrayed in media, in mainstream media, and to see it portrayed in a reasonable way that doesn't make you cringe as a chess player. So if that's interesting to you, I would check out Intermezzo. Actually, don't know that many people who have read it, but if you did, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you thought. I've also talked about this book that I have here, The Birth of a Chess Queen by Marilyn Yalom. This is about how the chess queen piece came to exist. It's so interesting. It's really, really interesting. There isn't really any other literature that I've managed to find on this. She is incredibly insightful, and she talks about how chess developed in Europe, how it came to Europe, and how obviously in earlier forms of chess there was no queen, it was an advisor piece, and then you have, you know, very strong European queens like Eleanor of Aquitaine and Isabella of Castile, and how perhaps the chess queen developed alongside these strong female rulers and became the strongest piece on the board. That's really interesting to me. I find like that is one of my niche interests. And it also has nice pictures of chess pieces. So if you like that, if you can't read, I have another chess history book here, which I have to admit I have not really looked in anywhere near as much because it is the general like history of chess. This is by David Schenk. It's called The Immortal Game. And yeah, I have looked at this, but only very briefly. I've heard very good things about this book. I think probably I would be interested in parts of it. I just need to be okay with flicking through it. Like some books you don't necessarily have to read cover to cover, and that's something that that's a scruple I have, is not reading a book cover to cover. I feel like I need to. I feel like I can't just dip in and read an interesting chapter. Like, could I? Like, am I interested in a chapter called Making Men Circumspect? Not really, honestly. Let me know in the comments if I should read this book. Please don't criticize me for not having read a lot of these books. The whole idea of the video is just showing you my collection. I'm not actually doing book reviews. Probably should just be like, hey, here's my book. Move on to the next book without saying anything about it. We have Endgame by Frank Brady, one of the most famous chess books that's not an improvement book of all time. This is about Bobby Fischer. It's a biography of Bobby Fischer. I have only dipped into it. I have not read it cover to cover. I've read small parts of it. It is very interesting. I'm not sure I could sit and read this all the way through cover to cover. I don't have a specific special interest with Bobby Fischer. He's just a guy. I'm going to get cancelled for saying that. He was a chess genius, and I love Fischer Random, Chess 960, amazing invention. But I don't really read biographies. It's just not, I've never read a biography of anybody ever. It's not something that I find incredibly appealing. I just have dipped into this to see specific things, like for example about the match versus Boris Spassky. When I was researching for a YouTube video I made about chess drama, I looked and got some details from here. Next up, let's talk Jen Shahade. You guys know that I love Jen. She has made incredible contributions to chess for women and in general. Play Like a Champion is a selection of puzzles from women's games. Jen was very kind and put one of my games in here. So that was very cool of her, when I got to sacrifice my queen. This one I have looked in quite a lot for selecting puzzles, whether that be for videos or for lessons or whatever, that kind of thing. I like her explanations, and I like that they're categorized. Like you've got blocking, you've got queen, like mine's in the queen sacrifice section, you've got in between move. I like that it's categorized like that, and I like that it is highlighting women's chess. Chess Queens is quite a different type of book. This is a continuation of her previous book called Chess Bitch. This is like an extension of that and partial rewrite, and also has more added to it, and it's talking it gives like a little mini history of a lot of the female chess players, most significant female chess players of all time. And I mean, she's got interviews with the Polgars in here. She talks about her own experience playing chess, but also obviously about the other prominent women in chess, all the way back to Vera Menchik and onwards. So I really enjoyed this. So I just thought that this book was essential reading when it came out, and I still think of this book as essential reading for every chess player. I would highly recommend it. Whilst you don't have to be a chess player to read this book at all, there is an appendix with all of the PGNs for games that she references, which is so cool that she included these PGNs, that you can just like find them and then plug them in and then see in the part of the book you're reading like what the game was, which is so cool. But also you don't have to do that to fully enjoy it, I don't think. So it's just like a nice bonus. But yeah, this is probably my favorite chess book. I also have Jen's new book, Thinking Sideways, which I have to say I have not finished yet. I have started it, but then it came just before I went away to Japan, and I did not read in Japan. I just got back from Japan, if you're wondering, like 3 days ago. So I haven't really, I'm on page 16. I can't really tell you that much about it. Classic Jen writing style. She is very readable, very interesting. This book is not targeted at chess players though, but it talks about different structured ways of thinking that chess players maybe have used and how you can make those applicable to everyday real life and becoming better at decision making and making the right choices, that kind of thing. I'm very interested in this as somebody who gets choice paralysis and that kind of thing. But yeah, like I said, I haven't finished it yet. It has rave reviews. Like all of Jen's books have rave reviews because they're all really good books. So excited to continue reading this one, but I'm sure it will be another hit. So it turns out I lied, and I do have How to Reassess Your Chess here with me. I think it brought it back at Christmas actually, because I wanted to make this chess book collection video. This is probably the first chess book I ever bought, and it created this big stink on chess Twitter because everybody was like, you're not strong enough to read that book, you don't know how to read, you don't even know how to castle. And they were probably right that I didn't know how to castle, but I did know how to read, and I still do. And I think that even though, yes, I still have a lot to learn from this book, and I am much stronger as a chess player than I was when I initially got it, I think that at the time there were definitely things that I learnt about it, at least theoretically, even if I couldn't put those into practice. This is kind of like the book, like it's the chess book, no? Like, do we not all agree that this is the chess book? Are there other chess books? This is the book. If you don't have any chess books and you're thinking of getting a chess book, and you want a chess book where you're going to read about chess, i.e. not the steps books because there's no explanations in them whatsoever, this is the book. This will teach you about superior minor pieces, creating imbalances, aka how to win a chess game when your opponent isn't blundering, like how to assess a chess position. It's the book, right? I have this book, Move First, Think Later. Think Later? Lula, can you read? I have this book, Move First, Think Later by Willie Hendricks. I have to admit, this one with invisible moves, I haven't really looked at. I think that I probably need to walk before I run. These are probably books that are helpful all the way up to like Master Plus. But it's always interesting to see people writing about the way they approach chess and chess improvement. And I did read the intro to this, and then I was like, maybe I'm out of my depth here. But yeah, let me know if you've read this one, Move First, Think Later. It does have some just exercises in it, but I feel like you won't benefit from them without, reading about how you should move first and think later, which I should move first and think later because I'm always long think, wrong think, always talking myself out of playing instinctively what I know is a move that is safe and good and should be played into playing a move which is horrible and bad and should never have even come into my head. So this book I bought because I do have that exact problem that I need to move first and think later, but I haven't read it. So maybe that's why I still have this problem. I also just find it so much more enjoyable to go through these books with other people. Like with my friend that I study with on Wednesdays, we go through books, and then at my chess club, we go through books. And so maybe this book is something that I could go through with other people because I'm just not going to sit down and read an instructive chess book by myself anymore. That's just not the person I am. So I need somebody else to keep me accountable for that. Here is my last chess book. It is one of the ones that I included in my original chess book haul video. This is 500 Ruy Lopez Miniatures by Bill Wall. And I'm not convinced that the analysis is accurate in these, but I have gone through quite a few of them. The writing in the book is not mine, by the way, so don't unfollow me for that because I did not write in any of these books. I got most of them secondhand actually, which are they're all PGNs of miniatures. So you just plug them into your computer and you see where foolish player number two blundered in 10 moves by playing like knight f8. There aren't a large number of diagrams in this book, and that's because they are such miniature games that either you should be able to visualize if you are really smart and clever and good, or just put it on your chessboard or into your digital chessboard if that's something, if you prefer to use a computer to study. But I put most of these I put them into a study on chess.com, I think, a private study. So no, I'm not sharing it with you. But yeah, basically, I mean, you have Retty in here, you have Adolf Anderson, you have Nigel Short, you have Bill Wall, the man himself. So it's really interesting. It's interesting to see, first of all, the wacky variations of the Ruy Lopez that they were playing, but also how bad some of the positions are, like how crazy some of the blunders are. So yeah, I love a fun vintage retro chess book. I would not recommend you going back and watching the video of my chess book haul, because I don't know, I just am like lobotomized in that video. I don't know why I was the way that I was, but I think it's because I was so uncomfortable in front of the camera that I just was not me, if that makes sense. And also I was young and naive. But no, for real, honestly, some of the books included in that original video are quite interesting. If I am able to bring them over to France, then maybe I can give you a part 2 to this video of my chess book collection. Let me know if there are any chess books that you can recommend to me that I don't have, bearing in mind the fact that it takes quite a lot for me to even open one up. And that is because I think that there is a lot you can learn before even getting to chess books. And I think that the majority of players don't really need them. I know that's kind of a hot take. If you are watching this and you're like, oh, should I send Lula my chess book that I wrote? Yeah, of course you should. Yeah, you can add it to my collection. I'm like a little dragon. I love hoarding things. No, but if you are thinking of publishing a chess book and you are thinking of sending that chess book to people, I definitely can read. So consider me a top candidate for receiving and reading your chess book. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this slightly chaotic video. It's a follow-up to my chess set collection video. So if you haven't seen that, I will link that in the description box below. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you for getting this far into the video. I will see you next time. Bye, guys.